Okay, good afternoon, everyone. We're extremely excited and pleased to announce that Kansas City, the city of Kansas City, is one of the 27 venues that are being used for the opportunity to be a part of the World Cup in either 2018 or 22. So from that perspective, I can tell you, having played in the World Cup, what a tremendous event it is just for soccer enthusiasts all over the world. And what a great opportunity for Kansas City. So as an organization, in regards to Kansas City Wizards and OnGoal, we're extremely excited about this opportunity and look forward to the process. And I want to introduce Dave Ficklin, who is Vice President of Development for OnGoal. He's strongly involved in that bid process, and let him kind of make a statement and then answer any questions that all of you may have.
Thank you. Well, truly, we are very excited. We had to put together a comprehensive bid book. It totaled almost 100 pages. And it was an effort between OnGoal and the Chiefs and the Convention and Visitors Bureau and the Sports Commission and the city. It really was an effort across all areas of Kansas City, both sides of the state line. And as a former venue director for a World Cup and working on the host committee in 1994 for the San Francisco venue, it's just a phenomenal event, and we are so excited to be in this opportunity. Just a little background, there were 70 cities that were initially contacted about their interest in hosting the World Cup. That whittled down to about 54, and now we're at 27. So Kansas City is one of 27 venues still in the running. The U.S. bid committee will take 18 cities in their bid that will submit to FIFA. So 27 down to 18 puts us in a phenomenal position. And we didn't make it in the 1994 World Cup. We were one of the last cities in the running. And I think that it was a real loss for everyone coming to the United States that Kansas City wasn't chosen. We've chosen the name, or we've chosen the slogan, Kansas City, the American City, because we think that best exemplifies the great features Kansas City has to offer as part of the United States bid to FIFA and as part of the way to promote our city and differentiate ourselves from the 26 other candidates.
Is there any kind of petitioning or anything that fans can do in this area to try to help the cause with FIFA?
Yes, absolutely. The U.S. Bid Committee has started a website, gousabid.com. So we encourage all the fans in Kansas City and everyone watching to go to that site, register your support. There's already 40,000 people who have signed up in just a few short days. So the response has been overwhelming. The passion is there.
How much of the new renovations at Arrowhead, I guess, helped sell this process?
I think it was critical. We'll have in Arrowhead one of the finest stadiums in the country. And it's really important in the World Cup to have a venue that makes the experience world-class for all the different constituents. Certainly the athletes. We've got to give them the best facilities for them to achieve their peak performance and try and achieve their lifelong dream. Arrowhead does that. We have to have phenomenal facilities for the media. This game is transported to every inch of the globe. We have that. From the sponsors' experience, we have, with such a great number of parking spaces out at the Truman Sports Complex, we have areas for sponsors to activate like very few cities do. And then certainly with the number of parking spaces, we have just an opportunity for a whole new element, a Kansas City element to be added to the World Cup, and that's our world famous tailgate. So everything about what's been done at Arrowhead makes us that much stronger and gives us, it's one of the reasons we're on the short list.
In terms of where things are now compared to where they were the first time Kansas City tried to get on the short list, what has changed that would make, in terms of what a committee would look for, what has changed that Kansas City would make the list this time, you feel, as opposed to not making it last time?
Well, I mean, I guess the first thing would be is that, you know, there's been an MLS team here now going on 14 years. I think that's a big help. I would think for sure it would be. I think the other thing that you would add to the venue is that it's always very difficult when FIFA decides where the World Cup is going to be in a lot of different countries, because it's the size of their stadiums. You know, a lot of countries are the size of one of our states. So their stadiums are a lot smaller. They hold, 20, 30,000 if they're lucky in those stadiums, where you're talking about here in the United States, a lot of venues are holding 80 plus. That provides them with being able to allow more people to see the games live, which they can't do in a lot of other countries, which is tremendous. And I think that's one of the reasons why Kansas City also here now with the renovations and moving forward, having an MLS team in this area, the interest in soccer, I think all of that plays a part in the overall opportunity to get the bid here.
And if I can add to that, let's look at what's happened in Kansas City in the past 5-10 years. It's really a renaissance for this city with all the reinvestment in downtown and both stadiums, the Truman Sports Complex, the Sprint Center. Kansas City is a great place to visit, and it's a much better place now than it was 10 years ago.
If Kansas City does make the list, how would there be any responsibilities on the city side to change things, maybe aesthetically or training facilities wise, otherwise between now and then if they would ask to accommodate a World Cup venue?
Really good question. One of the things that makes our bid so strong is we have almost all the facilities we need. If you take the new ballroom at Bartle Hall, we've also asked to be considered for. We've asked to be considered to host the preliminary draw and the FIFA Congress, two very important events. The preliminary draw takes place about 4 years before the World Cup, and it's where all the countries who are about to qualify, or all the countries who are trying to qualify, come together and get selected into their different qualification groups. So it's covered in every nation of the world. Kansas City our facilities are perfect for that. And same with the FIFA Congress that happens right before the World Cup. I couldn't think of a better place to bring the whole soccer world together right in the center of the country.
Is there a bid process to be able to host the final or the semifinals also?
The final will be played in a stadium that has in excess of 90,000 seats. But at 75,000 seats, I think Arrowhead is primed to host up to a quarterfinal and possibly even a semifinal. So the opening game and the final both need to be played in 90,000 seat capacity stadiums. Everything else is part of the selection process.
Is the field surface at the stadium sufficiently big to host a World Cup game? And if not, can it be configured so?
Very good question. One of the modifications that will take place to the facilities here, should the United States be selected to host the World Cup and Kansas City be selected as a venue, is to do a minor modification to the field wall at Arrowhead to allow a regular, it's a 75 by 115 yard wide stadium.
What's that do? Like, you gotta cut out a section of the wall? Or?
Well, we're working with Populous, one of the world famous sports architecture firms here in town, and it's a solution very similar to what they've built into some of their other stadiums, such as Reliant Stadium in Houston, where you notch the corners of the stadium, just the corners.
Yeah.
That would allow a full World Cup size field be installed, and at the same time you then can infill those for NFL games, so there's no decrease in Arrowhead's capacity for Chiefs games. And the other nice thing about that, it's a permanent modification, but it allows Arrowhead to host other large soccer games like we saw all across the country this summer, with clubs like Real Madrid and Barcelona, Inter, and AC Milan coming. When that renovation is made, there's no reason to think that the Summer of Soccer can't take place in Kansas City every year. And I'll just add that something like that would be paid for by the host committee. That's not a publicly funded renovation. That's all part of the host committee's responsibilities in raising funds.